Now I want to show you the trick that made me sound like a pro instantly when I understood it. And the trick is storytelling. So storytelling during your solos, it's extremely important. Even if you are barely able to play the guitar, if you manage to tell a story during your improvisations or your composed solos, and the listener is gonna be captured by your solo. But let me give you a concrete example of what I mean, because the last weekend we played at a big festival with my trio Nova, and I improvised a solo that I think kind of shows it pretty clearly what I mean when I say tell a story during your solo. And then we're going to go through all different things that you need to do in order to really tell a story. And then at the end of the video, you are already going to be a better guitar player because you are aware of these different things that you can do right now in order to make your solo more interesting and make it more like a story that somebody wants to follow. But let me show you the solo first. So now let me guide you very quickly through the 10 points that really make your solos stand out and make your improvisations or composed solos a nice story to follow. So the first one is to leave space, meaning don't start right away with everything. Give yourself the chance to build up something and not just give it all away at the beginning. The second point is to use motives. Of course, I always talk about motives, the most important thing for great melodies. So start with one motive, could be something like that. Don't forget the first point, leave space. Repeat the motive, move it around. And then at some point, this is gonna bring you to the next point, which is the third one, meaning move from one idea to the other. And if you do that, then your solo is going to be very logical and very musical to follow, because if your ideas are creating the next idea, then everything makes sense. But in order to do that, you need to listen to yourself. So example, you see? I moved from one idea to the next, and it was always because the previous motive made me think about the next one and led me to a place on fretboard or a musical place where I got another idea. And of course, it's not just yourself that give you ideas, right? It's also the other in the band or even the people in the room or maybe a noise. You can use everything to make your solo really part of what's happening in the moment. if you are improvising. But also if you are composing it, of course, listen to what the drummer is doing, what the bass player is doing, and use that to inspire you. And if you do that, that creates a flow of ideas. And maybe you noticed in the video, the drummer at some point said, "Yeah," while playing. And why did he say that? That's always a good sign. That means you're up to something. Because I was following some motives, and at some point I resolved the idea to a nice place, and that was satisfying to listen to. And the drummer said, "Yeah, we want to go for this musical moments, right, in our solos." And so now we are ready to increase the intensity of our playing, or the dynamic. So we want to bring the listener to a new place. And if we were playing sparsely and softly, then maybe now we can give it a little more, right? We can get busier, we can get louder, and we can build something. And that brings us to the next tool, which is range. Maybe you noticed I started pretty low. I even went down here, almost the lowest note on the guitar. And then I still had the option of going higher. At some point I was up here, almost the highest note on the guitar. So use the full range of your instrument. That's gonna make your solo more interesting. At some point you're gonna know what you didn't do yet. And so maybe you can use contrast, you can use tension, you can use some outside playing. So for example, if you played just long notes and you left a lot of space, maybe you can go through some quicker runs, right? So for example, that's gonna have an effect, right? Or playing something outside. And resolve it back, or and always resolve. But that creates a lot of tension that you can use to surprise the listener. At some point in our solo, we also want to surprise, right? And the ninth point is reach a peak. And when you reach the highest mountain in your solo, then think about the conclusion, which is the 10th point. So bring it back home, bring it back where you started, bring it back to the melody, bring it back to the root. Depending on the context, you have different solutions, but try to make it clear to your band and to the listener that you are reaching a conclusion. And then your story is gonna have a lot of sense and it's gonna be very nice to follow. Thank you very much for checking out the lesson. I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments, and please let me know what you would like to discover about music. Leave a comment and let me know, because if you don't, then I just have to assume that you could be interested in this and that. And maybe you noticed YouTube is not pushing my content so much in the last month, and I'm not understanding why. So if you can help me make the content that you would like to watch, then please drop a comment, drop a like, share my lessons with people that might benefit from them, and yeah, just be involved in the channel so that I can really give you what you would like to have. And of course, you can download the PDF of this lesson with all the bullets, as well as every lesson, on my Patreon channel. You find the link in the description. That's gonna be for free. So go check it out and let me know what you think, and see you for the next lesson.